I have this friend I'll call Jay. Jay is a roly-poly little bear of a man with a bald spot on top and a cute beard. He is a brilliant lawyer, a great family man, and a decent fellow. Jay is also transgender. When he was born, the doctor said, "It's a girl." And he was raised as a girl, although it never felt right to him. And I know that his current appearance is partially based on surgery and hormone therapy. I know this because he told me, not because I can tell by looking. I have no idea what his genitals look like because we've never been naked together. His wife knows and his doctor knows, and I guess that's enough. Sometimes when Jay is out in the world, at the courthouse or at Walmart's, he has to pee. You know, like anybody does sometimes. Now, if Jay walked into the women's room, many women would clutch their purses and stare at him down and maybe call security. No one would be comfortable. But when Jay walks into the men's room, nobody bats an eye. He does what he came there to do, presumably in a stall, and then he leaves. All is well. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, because of the Trump administration, of course. When Barack Obama was president, he issued an order protecting the rights of transgender students. This included the right to use the bathroom that corresponded to their gender identity, the gender they're living as. After Trump moved into the Oval Office, he rescinded those protections. He said they should be left up to the states. As any student of history knows, this is Republican speak for, "We have no interest in protecting vulnerable people." And transgender students are vulnerable people. They're bullied, they're humiliated, and they're beat up. Making them use the wrong bathroom, and it is the wrong bathroom, just makes them stand out more, and that's dangerous for them. It's not only Trump, of course. A number of states are passing laws that say a person can only use the bathroom that matches the sex on their birth certificate, or that matches the genitals between their legs. Now you tell me, do you want to carry your birth certificate everywhere and show it on demand just to use the bathroom? Do you think there should be a bathroom monitor to check your genitals before you pee? Yeah, transgender people don't want that either. Nobody does. These laws are not designed to solve any actual problems. Trans people have been using the bathrooms that match their gender identities for decades, and it's hard to find a single case of them harassing or attacking non-transgender people while they do. Sometimes the transgender person is attacked or harassed. And sometimes a non-transgender woman who looks a little mannish, or a non-transgender man who looks a little feminine, gets insulted while trying to use the bathroom. Most people don't know that happens, but it does. But this is not the fault of transgender people. You shouldn't pass laws against them for it. Now, the Republicans don't really want to say, "We think transgender people are different and bad and icky, so we want them to be humiliated." So instead, they make up reasons. They say things like, "Those transgenders are really just perverted men who dress up like women so they can spy on real women and girls in the ladies' room, and then attack and molest them when they get the chance. We have to protect our women and our young girls from these dangerous people." Of course, that's just a lie. It's like the lie they used to tell, that homosexuals are after your children. Sometimes I still hear that, but today transgender folks seem to be in the spotlight. And it's a very dangerous lie because it encourages people to hate and fear transgender folks who are already at a high risk for discrimination, harassment, and violence. I'm going to admit something that might get me in trouble. I don't understand every issue having to do with transgender people. I have some questions, not about bathrooms, but about locker rooms and women's prisons. And I am concerned that we can set policies so strictly, so rigidly, that if an actual perverted straight man stood up and said, "I'm a trans woman and I'm going into the women's locker room," we won't have given ourselves any legal way to challenge him. So maybe I need more education. But these are questions that can be addressed and solved without humiliating trans people and ruining their lives, without encouraging discrimination and violence against them. without lying about them. Here's a little bit of history you may not know. For centuries, many Christians and Christian institutions spread the story that Jews kidnapped Christian children at Passover, and they killed them and used their blood to make matzah. Sounds funny, doesn't it? It wasn't. It was a lie, but it was commonly believed for centuries, and it was used to justify the worst kinds of oppression and violence against Jews. Today it is referred to as the blood libel. Google it, because I know some of you can't quite believe me. And many Christian denominations have apologized for the role that they, or at least their distant forefathers, played in spreading it. So I guess that's progress. But today, some of those same Christian denominations, and some Jewish groups and Muslim groups and others, are happy to say, those transgender people want to molest your daughters. It's a lie. It leads to oppression and violence against transgender people. And Republicans seem to think it's a really fun idea. Maybe we should try learning from history before more lives are ruined.
We love to get mail from you. Email us at comments@outlookvideo.org.
To contact us by phone, call 408-293-3040, extension 205.
Visit our website at outlookvideo.org.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/outlookvideo.
And connect with us at facebook.com/outlookvideo.
Transgender Day of Visibility will be held this year on April 1st, 2017. It is a day dedicated to celebrating transgender people and raising awareness about the discrimination transgender people face worldwide. The first Transgender Day of Visibility was held in 2009. The first one held in the South Bay was in 2010. This year, we'll be celebrating the 7th anniversary of Transgender Day of Visibility. And I'm excited to have two longtime South Bay residents and transgender activists with me who have helped organize this. We have lead organizer Lance Moore and community organizer Kristen Haney, who are both joining me to discuss it. So welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is your 7th year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what are some of the exciting things you've got planned for this year's Transgender Day of Visibility?
We have a full day of workshop starting at about 1 o'clock. We've got folks from Kaiser, from the LGBT youth space. There's information about medical options. We have a wonderful sort of mental health survival, in these challenging times, lots of advice. But we also have snacks and games, and we've got original photography and art, lots of fun places just to hang out as well as to get some education. And in the evening, we've got a show which is full of queer and trans performers of all types, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And Crystal, what's the community organizing piece for you that you'll be bringing this year?
Well, one of the key components that I work with is the HIV testing and outreach at the event, and then also a little bit of the art. My partner helps run a art event at the center that we hope to help bring more trans-identified individuals to present their art at the show.
Fantastic. Now, I know we were speaking earlier that this is really about an opportunity for trans people to come together and celebrate. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, Lance?
To me, it sort of feels like it's still a radical thing for trans people to get together to educate each other, but also just to be together and to celebrate their lives rather than be in a space of mourning or fear. We have people from professional walks of life. We have people come who've never been out as their true selves before. And it's a very cool space. We have parents who are afraid coming out for the first time and getting to learn stuff, and the kids getting to see other kids. It's a lot of happy energy.
Fantastic. And what's some of the medical information that's being put out, Crystal?
Well, we have a bottom surgery panel. We have just general how-tos. How do you navigate the medical systems to get what you need out of your transition?
And what about legal issues? Do you have any panels coming on legal discussions?
Yeah, one of our members of our little group here is a lawyer, and he will be doing a workshop on how to do name and gender changes. And he actually provides that service pro bono often to members of the community. So if people want to get connected with him, they can. It's a great opportunity.
And so I know that we've all been hearing lots of stuff in the news about bathrooms. I'm sure that there'll be a discussion on bathrooms and safety in public.
We have a activism, kind of civic engagement panel. There's a woman who teaches civic engagement in San Jose State who's going to come out and talk to us about how do we locally get involved, what can we do to make a difference. So people are really hungry for that information and don't know where to start, and this conversation should be a really good set of pointers for folks.
Fantastic. And you said that there's going to be some art and creative activities. Will there be an art show and people available who are maybe transgendered or gender nonconforming can bring in artwork?
There is an art show. We try and get most of the people who are going to put their stuff up set beforehand because it's a little messy trying to do it on the fly. There will be an art display in the evening as well. And I've got a friend who has a photographer and is doing a bunch of work on transformation, and he's the trans community. And we're hoping to have some really big pieces up too to increase our visibility to the public.
Fantastic. And will there be specific tracks for people to follow, or is it just kind of more going with the flow energy?
We'll actually have 3 or 4 tracks going at a time. There will probably be a medical focused track and a kind of therapy focused track, and then one that's much more community focused. I really like the discussions that are like friends and lovers, ask whatever you want, or a panel like what's it like to have a kid who's non-conforming. So we've kind of got a space for each of those, but people are welcome to go back and forth however they like.
And so how would you like to see Transgender Day of Visibility become just visibility?
I think it's important to respect and celebrate all of our diversity, and that's why Trans Day Visibility is really meant for the whole community. Like I have a friend who does suicide awareness, and he learned tons by coming. We want to see and be seen, to be celebrated as part of the community, like with the flag, to not be separate. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and another thing is to bring community to us.
Yeah.
The more people know about our community, the more that lowers stigma. And just educate, engage.
Fantastic. So Lance, Crystal, thank you for speaking with us this afternoon. And if you'd like to learn more, you can go to the South Bay TDOV website, and that's southbaytdov.org.